Hello, my yarny friends. I'm Sara Sach, and welcome back to my crochet channel. Today is Friday Fun Day, and so I have a super fun pattern for you. And believe it or not, with today's pattern, you can make a chicken coaster or a turkey coaster. They're super easy to make and super fun. I know on Fridays I always say super duper too much, but these are really super fun. They're great if you're a chicken lover or a turkey lover. Perfect for your holiday decorating. You can put a ribbon on here, make it into an ornament. Add some holly or some cute buttons. You can add some leaves or some cute buttons. Use them to decorate around your house. Use them for coasters. Add a few on your Thanksgiving table. Or if you just love chickens and you like chickens around your house, this coaster works great for you. All right, so this is our turkey and chicken. I'm calling them chubby turkey and chicken because they're so round. Coasters, super fun and super easy. They're measuring about 5 inches by 5.5 because of the tail feathers. And it takes very little yarn to make these. Just small amounts of lots of yarn, not even a ½ ounce, I don't think, to make the complete chicken. And like I said, they're stitched exactly the same. The only difference is I changed colors here for the turkey tail feathers to have more of a fall or Thanksgiving look. And I used beige where I used all cream on this one. The little wattle's the same, the beak's the same, the eye's done the same, except the chicken got a comb. And I'll show you how to do all of that in today's video. Now you can also find, as always, the complete pattern, and I'll put that pattern link down in the notes underneath this video. So to make a chicken or turkey coaster, you're going to need some yarn. Now I designed these using acrylic yarn because I'm going to use these more as decorations. They still make great coasters made out of acrylic, but if I was going to use them as actual coasters, I would also probably use a cotton yarn as well. But acrylic coasters work just fine. The only difference is cotton is absorbent. And if you're going to put something that's going to sweat, like a glass of tea or soda that has ice in it that's going to sweat, the acrylic will still protect the surface, but it won't absorb the moisture. Okay? Now, this is the chicken style. We're going to use this exact same pattern and do a turkey. And so you're going to need a beige for the body portion of the turkey, and then we're going to be switching colors to a variegated fall. Now, you can use whatever colors that you want, but I really like this one. This is from Premier Basic Multi, and the color is called Harvest. Okay, and I liked it because it was a variegated with a lot of colors in there, because we're going to be doing the feathers here and then across the bottom, and we're going to switch back to the beige when we do the head. Okay, so it's going to be a little more changing colors, but it is stitched up exactly the same, and I'll give you instructions for both along the way. Now you're also going to need a small amount of black for the eye, and you'll need a small amount of orange for the beak. You could also do that in gold or yellow if you wanted to. And then you need a little bit of red. Now the turkey will not have this. I'll show you how to do it so you can put it on your chicken if you want, but the turkey won't have that. It will just have the little wattle at the bottom. All right? But don't worry, I'll explain all of it as we go because they're really the same pattern with just a few minor changes. All right, so we're going to stitch up, whether you're doing a turkey or a chicken, with our H hook, and that's a 5mm crochet hook. You need a needle for weaving in ends and for making that little French knot for the eye. And then, of course, you need a pair of scissors. So if you're making the chicken, you're going to do it all in a white or an off-white or another color that you've chosen for your chicken coaster. Okay? Rows 1, 2, and 3 are stitched exactly the same for whether it's a chicken or a turkey. All right, so we're going to grab our beige because I'm making a turkey. make our slip knot. We're going to chain 5 and join this chain 5 into a circle. And if you would like to do the magic circle or another method to make your circle, you certainly can. All right, I'm making that little stay knot. And now we're going to stitch in our circle. We're going to go in, pull up a loop, and chain 3. Chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. And now we're going to stitch 9 double crochets in our circle. You'll also notice that I'm stitching over my tail of yarn, and that's so I can close up that hole when I'm done. Alrighty. So I chained 3, which counted as our first double crochet, and I'm stitching 9 more double crochets. So row 1, or round 1, we'll have a total of 10 double crochets. Alrighty. I was talking and didn't count, so let's count real quick. Here's our chain 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome! Alrighty, we're going to join to that chain 3 with the slip stitch and chain 3. Now, before we go any farther, we're going to turn this over and gently pull on that string. Grab my needle and go ahead and weave this in. Now, you can wait if you want to and do this at the end. It doesn't matter. I like to just go ahead and get it done, then I don't have to worry about it. So I'm just going to go around here. Make sure that hole is nice and closed so I don't have a hole in the middle of my coaster. Alrighty, I'm just going to go back one more time and clip. Alright, so there is round 1 with our 10 double crochets and our chain 3. Okay, let's do round 2. Round 2, our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, and we're going to go right in that first stitch and stitch a double crochet. Now we'll go to that next stitch and stitch 2 double crochets. And so what we're doing is we're stitching 2 double crochets in each of those 10 because we want our coaster to be nice and flat, so when we set our glass of hot cocoa on our coaster, for me it's probably going to be hot coffee, it won't slide off. All right, so 2 double crochets in each of the double crochets, working all the way around. And see how that makes it nice and flat? 2 double crochets in each of our stitches around, so we have 20 double crochets. We're going to join to our chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. And so for round 3, we're basically just doing the same thing that we did for round 2. We're going to double crochet in that same stitch as our chain 3, and then 2 double crochets in each of those 20 double crochets around. And again, this is going to help the center portion of our coaster be nice and flat. Two double crochets in each of those double crochets, working all the way around. And remember, whether you're doing the chicken or the turkey, rows 1 through 3 are exactly the same. I have completed round 3. Round 3 has 40 double crochets, and you can see it's nice and flat. All right, so we're going to join to that chain 3 with our slip stitch, but we're not going to chain 3. Now, if you're doing the turkey, this is where we're going to change colors. If you're doing the chicken, these next stitches will be the same. You'll just stay in that cream color. All right, so now I'm going to grab my variegated and I'm going to bring in my new color. So I'm going to cut my beige. I will be using it again for the head and bringing it back in. So I'm going to leave it to the side here, but I'm going to bring in my variegated. And again, if you're making the chicken, you don't want to change colors here. The color change is so that the feathers of the turkey will be different colors. All right, so we've chained one. We're going to single crochet in the next stitch. All right, now we're going to skip the next double crochet, and in the next one we're going to stitch 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. And again, it's stitched the same for the chicken as it is the turkey. It's just we changed colors for the turkey. All right, so now we're going to skip the next double crochet and single crochet in the next. All right, and now we're going to repeat this 3 more times so that we have 4 feathers. So we'll skip the next. We'll stitch 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 1 and 2 double crochets in that same stitch. Skip the next double crochet and single crochet in the next. Skip the next double crochet and stitch that shell stitch, which is 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. Skip the next, single crochet in the next. Now I have 3 feathers, and again, if you're doing the chicken, you'll do it in the same color as the cream. All right, we'll do this one more time. Skip the next. We'll stitch our shell stitch, that is 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets in that next stitch. Skip the next and single crochet in the next, okay? And so here we have our 4 feathers. Now we're going to be coming back and making them a little bit longer, so don't panic if you think they're too short. So now we're going to bring back in our beige. If you're using, of course, the chicken, you're not going to be changing colors here, but we're going to bring the beige in and we're going to leave our variegated attached, okay? We're going to single crochet in the next 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and now we're going to make the head portion. All right, so we're going to skip the next double crochet and we're going to make a shell stitch the same way we did over here. So we'll skip the next one and we'll stitch 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 1 and 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Okay, now we want the head of the turkey to be the beige color. That's why we switched back to the beige. All right, we're going to skip the next stitch and single crochet in the next. And then we're going to slip stitch in the next and chain 1. All right. Now, this is the way it looks at this point, and we're going to be turning and working back this way. That's why we left this yarn attached. And again, I know I keep saying this, but it's stitched exactly the same for the chicken. It's just in different colors. All right, we're going to turn our work, and we'll be working on the back side for this row. So we're going to skip this slip stitch and slip stitch in that single crochet. Now we're going to move to the chain 1 space and stitch 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so we have those 5 double crochets in the chain 1 space. We're going to chain 1, and so in this first single crochet, which is the 4th from the front side, we're going to single crochet. All right, and so now our head is complete. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch in those next 3 stitches. So we're just going to slip stitch with our beige. And I cut my tail just a little bit short, but that's okay. I'm going to bring in my new color. Make sure I got that beige to the back. There we go. And now I'm going to chain 1 and go right over to that chain 1 space and stitch 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to chain 1 and single crochet in the single crochet. Now, before I go any farther, I want you to see the front of this. I'm going to grab that stitch or end of the stitch and pull it to the back, and you can see here's our head, here's those slip stitches, and there's our first feather moving back across. And again, remember, you won't have to worry about weaving ends in if you didn't change colors. All right? Okay, so let's keep going. We'll go to our next chain 1 space and stitch 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, single crochet in the single crochet, and chain 1, and repeat. And we'll do that on those last 2 tail feathers. Chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and 5 double crochets in the chain 1 space. Chain 1, and then we'll join to that single crochet. So this is how our turkey looks after we get the 4 feathers on. And something that I like to do is sort of pull those up so they're curling upward. I think it gives it a much cuter appearance. All right? So now the last thing we need to do is just single crochet across here. And we'll end over here. We don't want to single crochet around the head. We want to keep it the solid color. All right, so we're going to turn it over. And we'll place 1 single crochet in each of those stitches until we reach that head. And this just gives it a nice finished look across the bottom. I did not add any feet on this one because it is a coaster. If you want to add some feet, you certainly can. All right, just adding 1 single crochet in each of those double crochet stitches until we reach the bottom of the head. All righty, now we're just going to join to that slip stitch right there and cut our yarn. All right, now I do have some weaving in to do because I did change colors, but let's look at, let's turn it over and look at it. And this is how it looks on the front at this point. And again, the chicken's going to look the same. The only difference is now we need to add the details on the face, but they are stitched the same. It's just a matter of changing colors. All right, let's do the beak. We have 5 double crochets. We're going to join to the 4th one. And we're going to chain 4. All right, now we're going to turn and we're going to slip stitch in the 2nd and 3rd chain from the hook, and then we're going to single crochet in that last stitch. All right, and then we're going to join to that next stitch with a slip stitch. All right, so there is our beak. Cut our yarn and tie that off to the back. All right, and again, I have some weaving in to do. Tighten that up. So there is our beak. Alrighty, so now our turkey has a beak. It's done exactly the same for the chicken. Turkeys do not have a comb, but chickens do. And so I'm going to show you how to make this comb on my turkey, and then I'll take it off. I just want to show you how to do it, because the head, of course, is the same. And we're going to grab our red yarn, go in that first double crochet of the head. All right, we're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. And then in this next stitch, we're going to stitch 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. All right, and then we're going to cut our yarn. And we're going to tie off. All right, and then you'll just need to weave that in to the back. And that will give you a really nice shaped cone for the top of your chicken. Now this one you can see, if you want to make it come out a little farther, you can. Want to push it back a little, you can. But it makes a really nice comb for your chicken. And of course you'll have to weave those ends in. I'm not going to, because I'm going to take the comb off my turkey. Turkeys do have the wattle. All right, and so we're going to make that wattle down underneath our turkey's mouth. So let's go to this double crochet that's underneath the mouth and bring in our yarn. There we go. And now we'll go in this next stitch and stitch 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. Then we'll go in the next 2 and stitch 1 slip stitch. 1 and 2. And then we'll tie off. And that will give us a nice size wattle for underneath the mouth of our turkey. And again, we're going to have to weave those in. And I've already tidied up the rest of it, but the only thing left to do is to tidy this up, and then I'll show you how to add that eye. So my turkey's wattle is all tidied up, weaved in, and the only thing left to do is to add the eye. Now one thing you might notice is where we added those 5 double crochets, there's a little bit of a hole there. And so what I do is I come up underneath, and I make sure I leave myself a tail in the back, and I make a line like this, or a loop. There we go. And that just kind of pulls that together. And now I can make a French knot that's not going to slide through. All right, so to make a French knot, we're going to wrap the yarn around our needle 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go in and make sure that we go through stitches so that the eye does not slide out. All right, and so there is our eye. And on this particular thing, because it is a French knot, we're going to go ahead and tie in the back. Now this won't cause a problem with putting a glass on here, because we're going to be putting the cup on this portion, not over where the eye is. All right, nice and snug, and then clip that off. All right, now we have us a chubby little turkey and a chubby little chicken. So here they are, all finished. They're stitched exactly the same. The only difference is we changed colors here, and our turkey doesn't have a comb. If you want your turkey to have a comb, you can add it if you want to. It doesn't matter. You do what works best for you. All right, and so I have a sweet little chicken and a sweet little turkey all ready for whatever you want to do with them. And remember, you can add a ribbon and hang them on your tree. You can set them around the house for decorations or use them actually as coasters. Whatever you want to do with them.